Duran, bueno,
All right.
um, my name is Kyle Kigo, and this is Chelsea Duran, my coach. Um, the reason why, as to why I chose her was obviously the prompt says choose someone who has 3 to 4 years of experience, of which is the main reason. But also the reason why I chose you was because you've gone through so much as a coach, so much as a personal trainer, and you've seen so many personalities across however long you've been working as both. And yeah,
Mhm.
those were my reasons why. And how's your day? How's your day going?
Oh, it's all right.
Hmm. Typical Sunday. Hopefully it's been chill.
Oh goodness, my Sundays are training and cleaning.
True. First question. What's a typical day in your job?
Hmm.
Uh,
Just in the job or like a typical day?
cover both. Cover both.
Well, my typical day during the week, I get up at about 4:30 in the morning
Oh God.
and I train myself for 2 hours running and biking.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm at work for um, being the assistant athletic director admin
Mm,
at 7:45.
mm,
And then I get off. Some days I get off from there like right at 3:15 and I head to the weight room
mm.
for an open weight room session for all athletes. And then we
Okay.
start practice by 4 o'clock.
Mm,
For right now, it's cross country.
mhm.
So start practice 4 o'clock for the cross country team. And we are usually practicing until about like 6:30.
Okay.
And then I finally get to head home
Come
and
back home. Rest your day.
cook for my kids and stuff.
Sure. And what about in your job? Because that was you saying just your whole day in general. What about as your whole day in your job?
Well, I mean, my job has two parts. There's the admin assistant
Mm,
for the athletics department. So that's like during the school day.
mm.
Um, yeah, it's mostly office work for the most part.
Oh, okay.
Um, and then cross country is, traveling to different locations and
Mm,
bike riding with them and going
true.
over, skills, drills,
Mm,
techniques.
mm,
Um, Making sure they're all safe and hitting the mileage that they're supposed to.
true. Okay. Is there other than being physical therapist or an assistant athletic director? Was there any other career that you wanted to work in?
Um, so my degree is in where I went to the University of British Columbia. There was kind of four streams with my degree.
Mm,
So it was a Bachelor of Human Kinetics, and
mm,
then you could specialize in physical education,
mm,
sports psychology, business, or what I did, which was exercise science,
mm.
and that was essentially a pre-med.
Okay.
So the original idea was to go into sports medicine
Oh,
and or possibly physical therapy.
oh, okay.
But I kind of realized that I like being part of the prevention,
Mm.
not really I guess, the post solution.
The prevention of what?
So, like sports medicine and physical therapy typically deal with athletic injuries, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like being the front side of that. So, as a coach and a trainer,
Mm.
I can help prevent a lot of those injuries that
So,
occur if you do it
mm,
right,
mm,
versus having to deal with the injury afterwards.
true. Oh, okay. I understand it. Um, Concerning your current job, obviously, what other than meeting new faces, coaches, athletes, having to work with like different personalities, going through every day that always has something different about it. What's like your favorite part about your job?
Seeing gains.
Gains, like
Yeah.
improvements.
Well, so seeing someone like, like
Mm,
Emiliano,
mm,
a distance runner who I met the day he started high school.
mm,
Never thought they were a distance runner at all,
mm,
to the point where he's one of the best in the state
mm,
4 years later. That's incredible. Or, to take some of the jumpers that I've had over the last couple of years who had no idea what the jump even was when I met them,
sure.
to, making it to state, getting medals at state, going to
Mm,
college for it. Like things like that is
mm,
so rewarding just to
sure.
see people fall in love with the sport and see
Mm.
their progression and their improving, and yeah, biggest reward.
It really is nice seeing that you can do what you love ever since you've been young. You've always been thinking, I want to do something related to sports. And then as you matured, got into the field, you're like, oh, I want to be a coach. And then you get to see hundreds of athletes get to like an imaginable height that they would have never thought of. And then
Yeah.
I can see the satisfaction in taking people all the way to state in something they didn't even realize could be a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is nice. And then,
I will say though, this is not the job I thought I was going to do when I was young.
oh, what did you think? What were your aspirations?
So my mom was an ER nurse.
Uh-huh.
So growing up, I 100% thought I was going to go into nursing school.
Uh-huh.
I applied, and the year that I actually ran cross country in college, I was in nursing school.
Mm.
Um, and it was while I was in nursing school that I was like,
It's not really working out.
like, this is not for me. I loved the anatomy physiology side of
Mm.
the classes.
Mm.
Um, and I loved running cross country, like, loved being part of that team.
Mm.
But yeah, nursing was not for me. And I had an instructor that was like, Chelsea, you fall asleep in almost every single one of your classes, except for
Oh,
anatomy physiology. You spend all your time training. You
true,
might want to reconsider your major.
true. And then it kind of hit hard, huh?
Yeah, I mean, she was right though. I wasn't happy.
True.
I wasn't happy doing what I was doing. I was barely like passing some of my core nursing classes because I just didn't
Mm.
want to be there.
True.
So I ended up withdrawing that second semester of nursing and transferring to UBC. Whole
Mm.
new province, whole new city.
Oh, a whole
Um,
new world.
yeah, it was totally different. I mean,
Mm.
I because I was transferring like that, I never ran cross country again. I never ran
Mm.
collegiately again,
Mm.
but so worth it because I loved my degree. I loved what I did.
Mm.
Then getting into personal training and kind of pursued that a lot, and it just sort of was like,
Mm.
I don't know, it was falling in, I don't know, different experiences and meeting different people that sort of led to
True.
where I am.
Ah.
So, like, I was personal training in gyms,
Mm.
and then I started doing some like private
Okay.
personal training. I got out of the gym, started doing private stuff, and then because my husband was involved in jujitsu,
Mm.
um, I ended up meeting like all of head of his guys and training a
Ah.
bunch of MMA athletes.
Oh God.
And
Uh-huh.
then I personally, getting into triathlon, ended up meeting some other triathletes and ended up coaching triathletes.
Oh God. Talk
And
about
then when I
connections. Uh-huh.
and then when we moved to New Mexico, I had applied for this job at a place called the Parisi Speed School.
Mm.
And the Parisi Speed School worked with kids. It was age 6 to 18. They had a couple adult classes, but it was primarily kids working with the fundamentals behind sports.
Mm.
So teaching speed, teaching acceleration, top speed, change of direction,
Mm.
basic strength and conditioning, plyometrics.
Mm.
That's what really sort of introduced me to the world of working with youth athletes.
True.
And then when I left Parisi and started
Mm.
doing my own private business again, a couple of those
Mm.
athletes went with me.
Mm.
And I had one in particular that was like, "Hey, coach, so how would you feel about seeing me every day?"
Uh,
And I was like, "Well, why?"
uh,
Well, our coach quit, and then they hired someone else, and then that coach quit, and you know how to coach running. Like, could you apply to be our coach?
and then,
Well, I was like, I've never done it before, but hey, let's give her a go. They hired me, and that was the first team I was the head coach for.
oh wow,
So there for
there's
3 years, and then I came out here,
uh,
and Tim Bridges actually saw
mm,
my resume for TUSD and was like, "I want you," and then asked me to come to Catalina with him, and well,
mm. It's
7 years later,
7 years later, we're still strong.
yeah,
Oh God.
so it was
And
a lot of
what,
just meeting
uh,
people and trying
like,
things.
true, you actually never know how far you'll get into your career up until you meet new people, try new things, and then literally see what happens.
Hmm.
Of which is a very scary step to take at a young age, even in college.
Yeah.
So, like, what are some skills that you learned in college or in like your past head coaching jobs that you still use still today?
Um, I think one of the biggest things that I learned, and I think it's part of what's made me a great coach, is
Mm,
always being open to learning
mm,
from other people.
mm,
Whether that's, you know, a really good example is I'll hang out with the Pima coaches a lot.
mm,
Chad is, been coaching longer than me,
mm.
but his assistant coach Burke hasn't. I've been coaching longer than him.
Okay.
But I still will kind of hang around both because they're just different experiences and different
Mm,
education and different
mm.
environments are going to teach you things differently and teach you how to
True.
teach things differently.
Mm,
So I just feel like it doesn't matter what their skill level is,
mm.
always be open to learning something from the people around you,
True.
right? Even the athletes I coach, sometimes they look up stuff and research stuff and come up
Mm.
with ideas for
Drills.
drills. And
Yeah.
if I was like, well, I'm the coach and I know better and wasn't
Yeah.
open to that, I think I would miss out on some opportunities to teach them better.
True. And also learn something for yourself and also like better your craft at some stuff at the same time.
Exactly. So
Oh, okay.
I think that's my biggest advice
Mm,
is always be open to learning from anybody around you.
mm,
Um, because I think everybody's got, a little something
to
to
learn.
teach you.
True. What what are some misconceptions about your job? Because I know there's this general idea of coaching where it's just you're standing, there's athletes way over there doing drills. You're like, yeah, 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 faster or something. I'm not really sure. But what do you think people normally think about your job, and then what do you think are some misconceptions?
Um, I mean, yeah, I think when someone thinks of like a head track coach, they think of the big dude blowing a whistle and yelling at everybody.
Yeah, with some blue shades or something.
Um,
Uh-huh.
I don't think a lot of people, and actually this isn't just my idea that people have gotten this misconception,
Mm,
but I get a lot of comments of people saying, "Oh, who's your head coach?" And
mm.
someone points to me and they're like, "Oh, that's
Oh,
your head coach?" Like they don't expect this little
a
white woman.
female head coach.
Yeah. To be,
You said little white woman. Oh my God.
but it's fact because, and you look
Mm,
at the demographics of track and field,
mm,
a large number of the head coaches are male and fair number of them are, well, colored
mm. True.
and people of
Yeah,
color. A lot of
yeah.
them are black.
Mm,
And I mean, track and field is fairly dominated, especially within the sprints and the jumps
mm.
by
By
black
black.
men
Yeah.
within the coaching field. And well, I'm just not that.
Yeah, and then you kind of like stand out or
I do.
You don't meet the expectation, which is it's normally it can be viewed two ways. It can be a good thing where you sort of like create a new environment in track and field,
Yeah.
like gives a sense of like acceptance where anyone can literally be a coach. You don't have to be black, male, you can be female, white, Hispanic, anything. And
Yeah.
then yeah, it's good to be different. How
Yeah.
about that? Yeah. And then thinking back over your career as a coach, as a student, as a collegiate athlete, do you mind sharing times when you were experiencing like you're feeling either overwhelmed or you felt underdelivered and
Mm.
how you would bounce back from that?
Goodness, I'd say a lot of moments in both. I mean, as a collegiate athlete,
Mm,
um, my coach didn't really leave the best impression for
mm,
me.
mm,
He primarily focused on the male athletes on the team
mm,
and kind of ignored the women. So I
mm.
always feel like I could have been better, could have done better.
So,
Um, sort of is what it is.
yeah, it's in the past now.
Yeah.
Mm,
As a coach, I mean, man, I get overwhelmed a lot. I'm especially more particularly in track, I think, because the team is so big
yeah.
and there's often it's such an eclectic group. Track, I mean, cross country, it's very similar kind of personalities.
Mm.
Every anybody that does cross country is a little off. They're they're a little crazy.
True.
Um, and the team is so much smaller that there's
Mm.
just not a lot of drama.
True.
When you get a team of 50 athletes
50
and
athletes, one coach, one assistant coach,
yeah,
hundreds of events, hundreds of personalities. Yeah.
yeah. And the interactions, because it's sort of the one sport where you can take, these
Mm,
little distance runners to
mm,
these like big football players
mm.
and put them all on the same team.
True.
So it gets very, very interesting. And it
True.
being, a sport where both genders are part of the team,
Mm.
I think adds a different level of
Like
drama
adaptability.
and
Yeah.
hmm
Mm,
so that part can get stressful and
mm,
kind of sort of navigate all those different personalities and the inevitable kind of
mm,
drama that comes with it and not take some of that personally.
mm,
Um, 'Cause, I mean, there's been times where some of that drama has sort of ended up sort of coming back on me. And I mean, I'd be the first to admit that I don't always respond the
mm.
best way. Hindsight is
True.
usually
Mm.
2020, and I wish I could have responded better to some of those situations.
Yeah.
Um, days where someone gets hurt or, they don't achieve what they want to. I mean, state
Mm,
was last year is a great example of that where, August or high jumper just had a trash couple days
mm,
at state. We don't know what happened, but he felt like quitting the sport at the end of it. And then,
mm,
James did okay in
mm,
most of his events, but then situations with long jump ended up with him jumping at 10 p.m. at night and getting three less jumps than everybody else.
mm.
Pulling out second, but the entire division kind of doing crappy because of how late it was at night
Yeah.
and not making all state because of it.
Mm,
Um, and then, my distance runner just not having so many expectations of where
mm.
he was going to place and just not getting that.
True.
And as a coach, and I think the more elite the level, the more I
Mm,
take on myself.
mm,
There's a lot of what could I have done differently? What did I miss in their training?
mm,
Um, what could I have changed to help their outcomes be different that day?
mm.
And it's hard to say, like, how much might have been something I could have done, how much was
Yeah.
just, shitty luck that day.
True.
Um, and how much was they just, it's just them. They just had an off day.
Well, it's it's kind of, as a coach, you would find yourself in a situation where, like, if your athletes are going through a rough patch, you can either approach it as a coach, or depending on your level of like familiarity with your team, approach it as a mother. So I think not necessarily drawing the line, but knowing what to do, how to approach a situation, what to say, and then think about what you could have done. I would get why it's overwhelming, because on top of the pressure of firstly getting your athletes to state, you have to deal with like their mindset when they're in that position. Like, I
Yeah.
know you're in state right now. I know there's 3 to 4 collegiate schools that have their eyes on you and the expectations they have on you, but it's time to like shut all of that out and just either enjoy yourself or just do you. Like,
Yeah.
the amount of stress that can actually get to affect an athlete, it's a little bit surprising when you see the effects, even as a coach.
I always tell my athletes stress is stress, and whether it's emotional, mental, or physical, your body is responding to that stress all the same
Mm,
way. And um, I know for me, like in dealing with that, I don't know how clear the line usually is for me. I think that
mm,
that line between um, kind of what you said, like mothering a little bit
yeah.
to
Mm,
being the coach is a little bit blurred.
yeah.
I care about my athletes a lot,
Mm,
and not just what they're doing on the track. Like I care about them personally. I probably know more about most of
about
my
them.
athletes than their own
Yeah.
families do oftentimes.
True.
Um, so yeah, I mean, you kind of take on that burden too of, being sort of the secret keeper and
True. And sometimes switching gears to, you need to hit this goal. Like, even in training, you have to switch from being, oh, it's okay, to, no, we're doing
yeah,
this workout today, it's time to lock in. Yeah, it's kind of fun. I'm not a coach, but I can see the shift being sort of necessary in a way.
yeah.
And then, is there something, I think we've touched up on this, but let's see if we get a different answer. Is there something you wish you knew early on as a young professional that would have benefited you later on in your career?
Hmm. I don't know. I guess I wish I would have been more ready
Mm,
for the personal side of it.
mm,
Um, I don't think even when I started that
mm,
I would realize like how much you could come to care about
true.
these kids and how personally you could take it.
Mm,
Um, being a female coach too can be a challenge. And if I would tell, I guess, 10 years ago me,
mm,
is that like people are going to talk no matter what you do.
true.
Um, and to just kind of block it out because I think I struggle with that even now.
Mm,
Um, sort of damned if you do, damned if you don't. Like I care a lot and I get involved with my athletes' personal lives a lot.
mm,
And I love that aspect of sort of building those friendships, those relationships, that
mm,
family.
mm,
But the other side of it is that people are going to talk about that too.
true. Ridicule.
Yeah. Like think
Mm,
that, you know, oh, well, female coach is with, young male athletes
mm.
and
Such
what's going on
situations.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like we've seen that. It's not just me, I've seen that with other coaches in the state
Mm,
or like other female coaches have literally been accused of.
Mm,
I think we think of that more as like a male coach, female athlete
mm,
sort of thing that
yeah.
people worry about that, but
Mm,
it happens just as much, and that suspicion happens just as much from a female coach to male athlete, particularly
mm.
since I mostly coach male
Male
athletes.
athletes, yeah.
Yeah. So I think telling younger me that, hey, don't take it personally, do what you do.
Mm.
Um, yeah,
To the best of your ability as well.
best of your ability.
Mm. It really is hard. How do you deal with the pressure behind knowing ABCD said ABCD?
Man,
Or even if it's, yeah, like I know I'm not a woman, obviously, but even if I have, as like, even if I was a coach and I hear there's a suspicion or Kyle is getting intimate with his female athletes, I'm not really sure. Obviously, I would be stressed like first instinct. But since you have 3 to 4 years of experience, how do you normally deal with that?
uh, I mean, I'm pretty careful
Mm,
with just, I mean, little things like the clothes I'm wearing,
mm,
um, like physical affection. The athletes that I'm close to, I absolutely like will hug them and stuff.
mm,
But being careful of kind of, I guess, the perception of that
mm,
a little bit.
mm.
Um, Never putting myself in a situation where someone could be like, oh, well, look at that. That something was
Yeah.
happening there.
Mm,
Like people could look through, anybody could look through my phone, my messages, see
mm.
where I am all day long, and they would never find a single instance of impropriety with me. And I'm very careful about
Sure.
that.
Mm.
Um, Sometimes the guys will make jokes around me, and I sort of just like, I'm not a part of this.
Yeah. There's a certain type of like block. You're like, no, how
Yeah.
about no? Uh-huh.
And that can get a little more open, a little bit more adult once they are adults, but I'm
Mm,
still pretty careful, like,
mm.
you know,
Yeah.
I don't need any of that kind of bad publicity, I guess. I know it's going to be there regardless. That's just
That's
unfortunately the
just,
society we live in, and let's
yeah.
be real, like that kind of shit has happened.
Mm.
Um, so I just do my best to
TPPG.
avoid any perception as much as I can, and then I just try and not take any of the rumors,
Too hard.
any rumors or whatever talk personally.
True. And then I believe this is one of the last questions I have for you.
Okay.
So, which skills, no matter what day and age we live in, which skills do you think will matter most, no matter how jobs and industries change in the future?
Constant learning.
Constant learning. I think
Constant learning.
yeah.
Something that's I think is really important for me.
Mm,
Oh my God, what you do? Sorry. It was being recorded.
there we are. Hmm.
Yeah, I think the number one skill anybody could have is to constantly learn. I mean, it's why I went back to school, about to finish my master's in coaching, and exercise science. And I just think that kind of stuff is super important. I mean, I'm constantly researching skills, drills, looking at what other coaches are doing, what other athletes are doing, reading articles, updating certifications, things like that. And, I remember this when I was working at the Preezy Speed School, and me and one other coach were talking about, hey, how do we make us better? And me and her were like, well, what if every coach were to bring in, some kind of article, like one coach each week when we have our meetings, we bring in some kind of article, something we've been learning, something we figured out to share with everybody.
Mm,
And one coach in there
mm.
said, "Yeah, I don't have time for that."
Okay.
And it blew me away as a coach because that is your job, is
Mm,
to always be getting better at your craft.
yeah.
Um, and I mean, that's so important to me. She's not coaching anymore.
Mm,
And I think if no matter what you do, as
mm,
soon as you're not willing to become better at it,
mm.
I think that whole job just is going to be stagnant for you.
True. I don't think it'll mean as much because becoming better at something means that you love it in the first place.
Hmm.
And loving something ultimately gets you like encouraged to do it in the first place.
Yeah.
And um give me some career advice to end this meeting. Because I know you're a coach, but advice is advice. So
I thinking doesn't matter what field you're going into, be open to putting yourself out there.
mhm,
Um, be confident to know. I mean, great example. I've avoided trying to go to the collegiate level as a coach because I didn't think I was good enough.
mm,
And now I'm realizing, yeah, I am good enough. And
mm,
now I want that. So I think being confident in what you know and who you are in that profession
mm,
will open doors. That, like I said, constantly learning
mm,
will give you those opportunities,
mm.
and not to be scared to go after.
After
Um,
something.
yeah, even if you think that it's above your abilities,
Mm,
if you think that you won't get it because you're new to it or whatever it is,
mm.
um, go for it. You just
Okay,
never know.
true. Well, thank you for setting aside however long that was. 20 minutes, half an hour, I'm not really sure. Thank you for being available, and you might end up encouraging some people because this is either going on YouTube or is going to be used like in classes
Okay,
here at the U of A. So yeah, thank you.
you're welcome.
Thank you.